Hey there, I'm Lance and I'm a gamer.
And I'm Sam, and I'm a
And
non-gamer.
we are Love to Hate, where we try to help gamers find great games to play with non-gamers.
And today we're taking a look at Disney Big Thunder Mountain Railroad by Funko Games.
First, there was Disney's Jungle Cruise, then came Disney's Haunted Mansion game, and now they have come out with the third installment of these board games that are made off of famous Disney attractions, and that is Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, excuse me. This is a hand management pick up and deliver game that has a unique board that is made out of entirely plastic that you are going to be rolling marbles down these different railway chutes, getting them in different pools that you are going around the board trying to pick up depending on what color of marble they are. Let me show you how this game works down below, and then we'll come back and share our thoughts on this from a gamer and non-gamer's perspective. All right, here's Disney Big Thunder Mountain Railroad on the table, the wildest game in the wilderness. Let me show you guys this pick up and deliver deck builder game in which you are going to be playing on a plastic mountain that has an actual rotating mountain in it, and you are going to be moving around the outside of the board. Now this board pieces together like a puzzle around this plastic insert part that goes into the middle of the board here that has several different chutes, runway chutes that the marbles are going to be running on. And how this game is going to work, you are trying to pick up these different colored marbles and putting them in your cart, which your cart starts back behind the mountain in the hometown area. That's what this area of the board is. And it will fit into your cart right here. And you are trying to preferably get gold back into home so that you can sell it either for money or for power-ups or points. Points are ultimately what you want in this game because whoever has the most points is going to be the winner. Now you'll have a couple of marbles out here, a few marbles already in the slots due to setup, and you are ready to go after you've shuffled your deck and placed it to the left side of your board. Now, as I mentioned, this is a deck builder game, and so you are going to have starting cards, but you have the ability to pick up some upgraded cards along the way. On your turn, how this will work, you will run 3 marbles. Now, what it means to run is you will rotate this mountain here and let a marble load into it, and then it will run down here and it will fall into one of the chutes. You'll do that 3 times, and hopefully you get good stuff on your turn. And once you've got 3 to come out, then you are ready to go. And you have 4 cards in your hand to begin the game. Now the cards have icons on them and they're pretty easy to understand. This icon right here lets you allows you to pick up a gold marble so long as there is not a blue one with it as well. So I could do this picking for gold here at this location right here, but I could not do it at either one of these locations because there are 2 blue marbles. Now the blue marbles are water. And so before I could pick for gold there, I would need to bail the water out. And when I bail the water out, I would take up this marble and put it back into the top part here, and I would earn a coin for my troubles having bailed the water out. And the coin here will go on my player board in one of these slots, so I can only hold a maximum of 5 coins. Now, alternatively, I could pan for gold. Now, you can only pan for gold when you're at a spot that has both gold and water. And when I say gold, you could do either one of these actions, panning for gold or picking for gold, but you can also do it for ore. Ore are these brown marbles here. They're not as valuable as gold, but you still might want to load them into your cart because that's still worth something. So whenever you pick or pan for gold or pick for gold, just know that you can do either or, gold or ore. Now, the cart on these cards, it says discard to move 1. That's how you actually move your cart. So I could discard this card to move 1 space, and I would move my cart back here. Now, these are all 1 space. This is all home base, so I don't have to count each individual spot here. I can just go straight to this spot right here. And now that I'm there, I could pick for gold. that would be how I would get the gold into my cart. And I would just pick it up and put it in my cart. Now I can only hold 4 marbles. And what I'm essentially trying to do is go all around this board and get back to home to where I can sell my gold. So when you get back home, which is back here behind the board again, you are going to be able to exchange these gold ones for either 2 coins or 2 points. Now, why would you want the coins? Well, the coins are good for a number of reasons because they allow you to buy power-ups. And you can see the cost of the power-up right here. And these are limited. There's going to be 1 fewer than the number of players in the game. So these are not going to be available for everybody. But you can see what each of these do. For 4 coins, you can increase your hand size to 5 cards. That's pretty powerful. For 4 coins, you can get new supplies into hand. We'll come back to what this means here in just a second. For 3 coins, you can pick and pan at nearby shafts. So normally you have to be at the spot where the marbles are to be able to pick or pan and get them into your cart. But with that particular power-up, you could do it at adjacent shafts as well, and not just the one that you are at. For 3 coins, you can treat raw ore as gold nuggets. So your raw ore marbles, which I mentioned that gold is worth 2 coins or 2 points. Normally, raw ore is only worth 1 coin or 1 point. But if you have that power up, you can treat raw ore as gold. Now for 2 coins, your pick counts as your pan. So both of those actions become the same to you because again, normally you can only pick if there's not any water at your shaft. But if there is water, you can only pan. You cannot pick or vice versa. And then lastly, the last power up for 2 coins, 2 town tokens for bailing water. Again, when I bail water, I get 1 coin, putting the water back into the top. If I have this power-up, I would get 2 coins. Now, you can only hold 3 power-ups. You can purchase a 4th, but you have to get rid of one of the ones that are down here. If you don't want to spend your coins on any of these power-ups, you can instead buy a town share card for 2 coins. This is completely random, but you might get 1 victory point for a mercantile share. You might get 2 victory points for a hotel share, or maybe you will get 3 points for a bank share. Now, that is what you are doing majority of your turns. When you play a card that has this icon on it, the train icon, you are getting supplies, and that is when you get to draw a card over here from this market. I can take one of these cards that are available to me, placing it in my discard pile, and then when I have to reshuffle my discard pile to create a new draw pile, these cards will be available to me. So I might take this one right here, which will allow me to pan twice and move one, and I can do these in any order. I can forego some of the options. These are all optional. So however that works out for me, I'm going to take that. Now, players will continue to do this round and round and round again until somebody crosses the 20-point threshold. And when they do, they will get to draw their first pick out of the town share cards that are placed here at the finish line. And then if any other players cross this finish line, they will get to draw one. But each player is only going to get one more turn after somebody crosses 20 points. And then whoever has the most points at the end of the game is going to be the winner. There's one final thing to talk about, and that is the red marble. Whoops, I just dropped it. The red marble is the fate marble. Now, there's only one of them up there. And when the Fate marble comes out, you are going to draw the top card from the Fate deck, and it may be something good, it may be something not so good, such as Dinosaur Discovery. All players draw 1 card from their deck, which is great. Dynamite, remove all other marbles from the mine shaft with the Fate marble, then run 3 extra marbles. So that might not be so good if you were at the mine shaft where the Fate marble came and there was a lot of things you wanted to pick up there because boom, it blew up and now it's all gone. Anyhow, that is how you play it. Let's go back up top and share our thoughts on Big Thunder Mountain Railroad.
And we're back, and now we're going to share our thoughts on Big Thunder Mountain Railroad from a gamer and non-gamer's perspective. So Sam, first impressions, seeing this out on the table, what'd you think?
It seemed gimmicky.
Okay.
And I'm not usually a huge fan of the Disney games. They're just very themey and gimmicky, and they're just trying to, in my opinion, trying to pull you in for somebody who's a Disney fan. I love Disney. I love this game. And I do
Cash grab.
Yes, exactly. And so I didn't have high hopes for it.
Okay. All right. What'd you think of the unique board that it's a plastic mold with this the Big Thunder Mountain in the middle of it with all these marbles? What was your impression of that?
I mean, it looks fun and interesting, and again, gimmicky. Like,
Okay.
how is this going to relate to the game? We have a couple, maybe one or two other games that have marbles and things like that, and it's fun, but sometimes it doesn't necessarily add to the game.
Yeah, I think most people, when they hear marbles or they think marbles running around on the board, they're going to automatically jump to Fireball Island. You know, the classic game from the 80s or 90s that was remade and redone here recently by Restoration Games. That's my first thought when I see something like this is, oh, this is going to be like Fireball Island. And it definitely has marbles running down chutes and you know, it has that element to it. But this is a totally different game than that game. You were moving around the board trying to run to get to different places, and I guess you are moving around the board trying to get to places with this one, but this is more of a hand management game, playing your cards cleverly, getting your cart in the right spot, pick up and deliver kind of game. For you as a non-gamer, wrapping your head around this one and trying to find your way to do well in it, what was that like for you?
It was actually a really easy game to learn to play. I thought it was going to be, I think I actually said no the first time. We were on vacation when he got it, and I was like, no, I don't.
She did. Yeah.
I do not want to learn this game. Then other people got involved, and but you know, we played with me and two other people that are pretty much non-gamers, and it wasn't hard to explain. There wasn't a whole lot of questions asked afterwards, and I think we all really enjoyed playing it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think most of the people that I've played this with have had a good time with it. I think, like Sam said, it comes pretty quickly, the understanding of what you're to do in this game.
The iconography is very easy to understand.
Yes, absolutely, yes. It's very intuitive, very smooth process, smooth teaching process as well. It makes sense teaching this game to other people. Was it fun? Was it an enjoyable experience for you?
Yeah, I think it was a lot of fun. When you run into somebody and push them, and you have that, you're imagining the ride, you know? And so that was really fun. The marbles, how they would fall, I think there was a little bit of glitchiness with.
Yeah, I was going to mention that on my cons. That's definitely something. The mountain itself doesn't work 100% of the time. Does it work enough that it doesn't make it so much of a problem? Yes, probably. But if you're somebody that's going to be really picky about that, it will definitely, I will guarantee you it will not work 100% of the time.
Yeah.
And I did experience, and I've read in some other people's reviews, that it feels like the marbles all roll the same direction. I did have a game where it felt like that. The marbles all roll to one side. But then in another game, the game that Sam's talking about, they went pretty evenly.
Which was funny, though, because we were in a beach house. It was definitely slanted.
Yeah, the house itself was not level.
So I don't know if that was helpful or not.
But the marbles did go evenly the second time we played it. So I don't know. It's a really weird experience with that. But if you're somebody who's going to question that and be very picky on that, I think that is something you need to be aware of, that the mountain doesn't work all the time. Doesn't break the game, though. I will say, however, I don't feel like there's enough marbles with the game, because it felt like there were several instances in which, especially if in higher player counts, I think this is an issue. If everybody has a lot of marbles in their carts and they're not getting back to home base, and there's still a lot of marbles in a lot of the pools, it can be that there are no marbles up at the top. And when you put one in, well, you know what's coming out because it's the only one that's up there. And it's going to be the red marble, because that's the only one that doesn't get stuck in somebody's cart or in the pool.
I don't remember thinking that too much.
It happened enough times where I was thinking, man, it's slowing the game down enough that I would have liked for there to have been more marbles in there. So that was a con for me, but we'll save it. We'll mention that again when we get to pros and cons. So speaking of which, let's just get straight to pros and cons. So, Sam, for you, what were the things that really worked well for you with this one?
I thought it was just easy to understand. Like I said, the iconography was really easy. That's a big thing for non-gamers.
Absolutely.
I can understand it for myself without a whole lot of reading or a whole lot of asking, okay, what does this mean again? It was simple, but not so simple that it was not enjoyable. I think it was it was a good game to play with non-gamers. You know, we all had a really good time. The marbles made it fun, bumping into each other, meeting your goals. I just think there was a lot going for this game.
Okay. Yeah. All around good experience for you with it. Yeah, for me, a good pro that I really enjoyed with this game were the things you get to do when you get back to base after you've sold your marbles. You have those coins, and choosing whether you want to get points or coins with your marbles, I think was a good decision because a lot of those power-ups that you can get with your coins are really good.
Yeah.
And increasing your hand size is really good if you get it early on in the game. If you get it later in the game, it's not as good.
Yeah.
And I felt like those were good, meaty decisions that made an otherwise really light game a game that could be very enjoyable for somebody like myself. Because if it didn't have that, and if it was just pick up and deliver, well, that's a dime a dozen type game. You can find that in a lot of different games. But this one, it made it a little bit more interesting having those choices when you get back to base. So that was a good thing for me. What doesn't work well for you?
I think it's a little cheap as far as the mountain goes and the plastic. I don't know what you could really do about that. The marbles were fine, and the little your carts, which I really liked the carts.
Yeah, the carts were nice.
Yeah. Other than that, I mean, kind of what you said, the marbles would get stuck and maybe there wasn't enough. That's not something I remember paying too much attention to. But there wasn't a whole lot of cons. It's a very good game.
Okay. For me, the only other con that maybe we haven't mentioned, it says 45 minutes on the box, and I felt like in a 4-player game, it went closer to an hour, and it might just be just a tad too long for me. Because you are just going around in a circle on the board, and it feels like if it goes a full hour, that it maybe just a tad wears out its welcome a little bit.
Because you are very quickly making those rounds. Yeah, I could see that.
And so you're just going in circles, literally. So if it were a little bit shorter, if the win threshold were just a little bit shorter, not 20 points, that might be a good change to the game. I don't know. That's just maybe a personal thing for me, but that was the one other con that I've had with this one.
Yeah.
All right, scale of 1 to 10, love to hate. Where do you come down on Disney Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, other than the fact it has a we long name?
Yeah, I definitely think this is one of my favorite of the Disney.
Really? Okay.
One. Yeah, this is definitely my favorite one. And we haven't actually played it with our kids yet, but I think they would enjoy it.
I did. I played it with 2 of our kids, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think it's a good one to play with them, and they understand, Disney and all that stuff. So, but I thought it was a good game. I'd give it a 7.3.
Okay. Yeah. Solid score for that. For me, it's firmly, we mentioned the other 2 games that are in this series of Disney attraction games. It's definitely not the worst. Jungle Cruise was the worst by far. We did not really care for that game too much. I don't know. I think I like Haunted Mansion just a smidge more than this one. I don't know. Maybe it just depends on the day, I think, for me. But I'm very close to the same score that Sam said, 7.3 for her. I'm a 7.2. I think there's some really good things about this game. I just, there's some ways to make the game a little bit better that I would like to see with it. So, but 7.2, 7.3 is still a solid game, and it's going to work real well for a lot of people, especially Disney fanatics.
It's one I would say let's keep, not, okay, we're done.
Yeah, for sure. So, well, there you have it. That's our thoughts on Disney Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. It is from Funko Games. Leave us some comments down below. Let us know what you think of this one.
Make sure to like and subscribe and push that bell button so you get notifications of all our new content.
I'm Lance.
I'm Sam.
And we are Love to Hate, where we try to help gamers find great games to play with non-gamers. We'll catch you next time.